Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Passively Offside. As always, I'm your host, Taylor, and with me in the studio is Splenda and Nephi. We've got quite the show tonight. If you have not been following the World Cup, you're in for a treat. Right?
Yes.
I mean, like, if you're watching the show, we're assuming that you're following the World Cup.
Unless you're just,
so. Unless you're Splenda's brother.
Again, unless you're living under a rock.
Well, I mean, or your brother.
Or my brother.
You know, the funny thing is almost everybody, even if you're not a fan of soccer, knows exactly what's going on.
Well, I think we talked about that last week. I've been seeing so many more people get, like, posts on Facebook, I've never been a soccer fan, but the U.S. is making me.
Well, the interesting thing, CNN today, we're doing breaking news throughout the whole game.
Good.
I mean, that's a big news channel.
That's a big deal.
You know, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, this is I think every single game, every successive game that's happened, like the Ghana game broke records, and then the Portugal game broke records, and I think we're still waiting to see on the viewership from this morning.
We're still waiting.
So I've seen one for the online viewership has broken the record.
Okay,
good.
That's good.
So I think they said they broke the...
I was part of that. I had to watch online today.
Yeah, because, so just for history lessons, the first online viewing for sports for the Super Bowl was this last Super Bowl with Fox Sports Go.
Yeah.
We broke them by 600,000.
Woo-hoo!
That's a lot of people.
That's not including the Univision stream.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's just off the ESPN.
That's a big deal.
So
that's a huge deal.
Soccer's in the United States now.
Soccer's a thing.
And then
soccer. As the Men in Blazers would
say.
Soccer.
Do you ever think it's going to change? The football?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Neither do I.
Because
I was just curious to see if you guys said it would.
I don't see any reason.
No,
we see when you say football, you're gonna get every red-blooded, meat-eating, beer-drinking American thinking you're meaning football.
I don't know.
And
Friday Night Lights football.
And if we start saying football, that English guy that wrote that article about hating U.S. fans will be even more upset because apparently saying pitch and boots and kit pissed him off. If you haven't seen that,
No,
we're gonna have to post that.
Well, shoot.
We never post anything.
No, we never do.
We say we're gonna get better at that. We're still new. Anyway, let's talk about some stuff for recently. There was an MLS game last night that we didn't watch because we were playing soccer.
Yes.
Soccer.
They're
gonna make me do that.
Yeah.
They're gonna make me do that.
Overemphasize the R.
Nephi got us into Men in Blazers. They're amazing, by the way.
Hilarious.
I am absolutely fine plugging them on our show.
Oh yeah.
They're fantastic English guys who are American fans.
And the best part, especially for the part-time soccer fan, they are hilarious.
Oh yeah, they're
so you're gonna
funny.
get a great comedy show and knowledgeable soccer facts at the same time. So
it just kind of all ties together. Well, anyway, there was one game last night. It was Montreal versus Vancouver, and later on we'll get an analyst on the line named Boris to talk about that game. But we all voted for it. We did our prediction, as always, and we all lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one saw a tie.
We didn't see the tie coming. We all voted for Vancouver.
To be honest, I don't think anyone was really even thinking about the game. They were just like, well, I'm going to pick this because why? It's World Cup.
Well, we were getting ready for our match, too.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, I think one of you guys texted me about it, and I was just like,
I think it was just in our
I think it was Boris, actually. I think it was Boris.
It's like, oh.
It was like, I guess we should do that because that's our main show. So, to remind you of the scores, because there are games happening tomorrow and through the weekend, and next week we will be talking about MLS again. Yeah, it's
the weekend.
It's Thursday, Pat.
Yeah, I know.
Thursday.
To remind you of our scores, which haven't changed, except we've all gotten 1 point worse. I am at 36 of 103. Boris is 43 of 103. Brandon is 40 of 101, Nephi is 32 of 93, and Splenda is 29 of 93. And again, we are going to fix those tail end scores.
Yeah.
Move on past that for right now. Not a big deal. We'll get some analysis on the game in a little bit. Let's talk about one of our favorite things, and my favorite thing that's happened in the World Cup.
Go ahead.
There's a vampire afoot.
Oh no.
There is a vampire afoot.
We're going to do the whole teeth thing.
Oh,
we were gonna have teeth, and Splenda didn't remember to get it. Splenda wasn't gonna be here.
I wasn't gonna be here.
Yeah.
And then last minute plan changes meant I was here.
So anyways, vampires.
There's a vampire at the World Cup, and his name is Luis Suarez. He bit. Okay,
Third time's the charm.
Third time. I had to stop for a second.
Yeah.
I'm glad you jumped in there because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to present that. Because after 3 times.
Well, after 2 times.
After 2 times.
Well, after 2 times, you
After 2
think.
times and having a big ban from FIFA on the second one. They fined him a lot. They fined him. I can't remember how much it was. It was.
I think it was
a
40,000 pounds.
Some to that.
40,000 pounds.
Plus
Or
that
that was the racial slur one. Because he's done that too.
yeah,
He's done that too.
He's a classy
he
guy.
Classy
missed
guy.
the last. So not this season of EPL, but the last season of EPL missed the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to kind of put in perspective what this has done, if you missed it, he bit an Italian defender on the shoulder. Nothing happened during the game, completely scot-free, and Uruguay went on to win that game and advance.
Yeah.
So they knocked Italy out, and I personally believe that Suarez scored the goal.
No, what did he?
No.
I thought he did.
He didn't score
No.
the goal. No.
Well, no, okay.
It was a header off of somebody else. It wasn't Suarez who scored that goal.
No, it's true. It wasn't.
It was
Did he set it
somebody
up?
else.
He might have had
I think he set
He
it
may
up
have
at
been.
least.
He may have had the cross.
We're really good at this.
Yeah, we
There's
know our
so
stuff.
much going on right now.
It's hard to keep track.
Anyway,
We're busy.
I firmly believe that had Suarez been red carded out, Italy would have at least drew that game.
Yeah.
And I believe a draw would have put Italy through.
It would have been because Costa Rica.
I don't
was
remember
straight
their-
on
I don't
through.
remember
3
that.
wins.
Yeah,
It was
Costa
between
Rica
those
destroyed.
2.
I feel bad for Sabo because he didn't get to be part of that.
No, he's still down there though.
Well, yeah, he went, but he doesn't get to be part of
He
it.
doesn't be on the. He's not on the field for
He's
it.
not on the
so.
field now. But
Anyway, yeah, I firmly believe that had he been carded off, Italy
been a
may
It would
have
have been
had
a different game.
yeah.
It definitely would have.
So for this one, his third, and this is his 4th incident because again there were 2 bites and a racial slur incident.
Wow.
yes.
Classy guy.
Classy guy. 3rd time biting someone for this, just so you guys know,
Yeah.
he was fined 100,000 Swiss francs,
Which is
real
people money.
in real people non-monopoly money. Wow. Is 112,000 US dollars. I bet you were wishing I would have just stopped at 112, because that would mean our dollar was really strong.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Nope.
112,000 US dollars. He is also banned for 9 international games and 4 months from any action.
So that's starting in July is the first month.
Yes, so he will miss the next game he will miss the rest of the cup if Uruguay were to continue.
Yes.
If Uruguay does not continue, he will miss future games
Yes.
for international Uruguay play. He will also miss, I believe it is 9 league matches with Liverpool and up to 4 championship matches with Liverpool.
Championship one. No, it might start that early.
It's 9 matches. That's what 1 match
Oh,
a week,
oh,
9 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, not like the end of Champions League.
No.
Yeah.
But just
I wasn't 100% on that. I got that in passing while I was working today, so I apologize. But that is what was recorded on ESPN, and that's what we have here. That is a lot of missed time, and I don't think Liverpool's going to keep him.
at some point you got to cut him loose.
Well,
He needs help. More than anything else, he needs help.
He's like Bolotelli. He's
volatile.
He's volatile.
Yeah.
But he's good. If you don't know this about Suarez, he was the Golden Boot winner for the EPL.
Yep.
Had 30 plus. I want to say it was 33 goals in the season.
Yep.
Destroyed everybody.
He's an amazing player, but he does stupid stuff like this.
Yeah.
He's undisciplined.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
And here's the other thing, though.
Mhm.
This will be Liverpool's first year back in Champions. Are they really willing to risk their highest goal scorer?
Do you think
It's a good point.
Do you think it's worth keeping somebody that's that
Yes.
volatile
Yes.
on their? Now I understand that he is an accomplished scorer, an accomplished striker, and he can do a lot of beautiful things with the ball. But racist, and he bites people.
Yes.
And he's
Well, the
still worth
racism
that.
thing isn't really that big of a deal over across the pond.
No.
Remember?
Yeah.
That's true.
But the reason I say yes is because of his partnership with the second highest goal scorer, and his name is spacing my mind right now. He was the striker for England.
Wayne Rooney.
No.
Sturridge.
Yes.
Wayne
Sturridge.
Rooney.
Good job.
Good job.
Dude, I've been watching.
Dude.
You messed up because Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
so, no, but
you
Sturridge-
said England. That's
him and Daniel
immediately popped in
Sturridge
my
is
mind.
the strike team for Liverpool. They have an amazing team. I don't think they'll split that up.
I can see that,
Fair
but he's
enough.
going to be out of action for a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously going to keep training, so
Yeah.
he won't lose shape or anything. This isn't an injury. We'll see what happens later on.
Well, even with knee surgery, he came back a month later.
Yeah.
And put in at least one goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's got 2 for the cup.
So he's not a problem to be back in shape or anything. It's just fighting people.
Anyway, let's move on from there. Enough talk on Suarez because all this conversation just upsets me.
Makes me hungry.
Yeah, okay. Italian subs?
You know what? Italian subs.
Italian
Let's
subs?
go.
I am mad at myself for making that joke.
Why?
I heard that joke so many times.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Everybody's heard it.
Let's talk about today. Remember that we are a U.S. podcast, and we are going to mostly talk about the U.S. and Group G. So, since last week, since we talked last,
Mm-hmm.
Portugal and the U.S. played
Yep.
Yes.
and tied.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, first and foremost, we're not going to get too deep into the Portugal game because it's
No,
kind of old
that's
news
fine.
at that point.
Yeah. everybody's done
But
it.
just to touch on it, the U.S. won that game.
Yes.
For the first 94 and a half minutes, we won that.
Well, for the first 5, we didn't.
Well,
For the next hour, we did.
yes.
And then we gave up a goal late. Now, I will still say the U.S. played a better game.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Brandon isn't here, but me and him had this conversation. He is very strongly with a lot of people on the voicing the negativity of the Portugal game.
Michael Bradley.
A lot of people are blaming Michael
Everybody's
Bradley.
blaming Michael
And it
Bradley.
wasn't Michael Bradley's
To be honest,
fault.
here's
No.
the funny. No. Okay, he had a part that he could have done better.
Everybody.
What about the
But-
back line?
Well, and that's what I was going to say,
Yeah.
though. But when you break it down and watch it section by section,
Piece by piece.
there was a lot of people who could have done something different to prevent that.
Yep.
Started actually with Yedlin
Yep.
up top.
Yes, it did.
So, with that being said, Michael Bradley it wasn't his fault.
No, not-
He had out.
My biggest thing is if you're gonna win as a team, you're gonna lose as a
Yeah.
team. And if you're
Agreed.
gonna
That's what I was
sit
gonna
there
say.
and nitpick on single people, then you can't leave everybody out. You need to be able to go back to the 5th minute and say, well, whoever it was that had that crappy clearance,
Nice. Good.
crappy
Good save.
clearance,
Family show.
family show.
Anyway,
Family
let's
support.
not get too deep into Portugal because mostly we're just a little upset about it. It was a little bittersweet, but I will say, for the United States, drawing against Portugal was a win.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge team. Not even just the point system. That is a top 5 team.
Well,
in the world.
And that was our best U.S. performance probably almost to date.
I could agree with that.
So
Maybe
they're-
besides Dos Acero.
Okay, well, that's more of a
Pride thing.
Pride but we're talking big stage
Performance.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
because if you look at their goals, one was an obvious defensive blunder that normally never happens, especially from Cameron.
Yep.
Second one was a 94 and 30-second, my team's tired, and a lot of people made individual small mistakes, and Cristiano Ronaldo played one of the most brilliant balls
Oh, my.
I've ever seen.
Oh, my. Well, I was talking to someone else about this. I don't even remember who, but the new FIFA ball is designed to be that.
Pinpoint accurate.
Yeah.
The way the ball is put together with those little fingers, how they, instead of being patches, they're little.
Stitching.
It gives you.
More
I
control.
think someone statted me 50% more distance with control. You can control it up to 50% more distance. I don't have a source on that, but you know it's true.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful cross, beautiful placed ball.
Yeah.
And I liked watching the ESPN on it because they put it in perspective of had either of those players been, I think it was 1/12 of a second off,
Yeah,
Probably.
it wouldn't have gone in.
Well, that's the game.
And that's what's
That's-
beautiful.
that's
the I game. agree.
That's what's beautiful.
Oh, I agree.
Well, let's talk about today, guys.
Okay.
Today was a big day.
If you didn't know, Germany got a loss. That was the big news today, guys.
Mm-hmm.
What really happened today? What really happened today is Germany and the U.S. played at the same time Ghana and Portugal played. Now, the U.S. started very poorly.
Oh God,
very
so
poorly. But I will argue that we came back a little bit,
yes.
and we're
Yeah.
going to get kind of deeper into this in just a second. But to let you know kind of what happened.
Oh,
Boris is calling. Let's go to Boris since we're starting a conversation here.
Let's go to Boris.
I'm going to put this in so I can hear him. Let me go ahead and pull you up real quick, Boris. Boris, how are you? Boris, can you hear me?
I'm good. I'm good. I have a little bit of a spotty service, but I'm good.
Okay. Well, he's got spotty service because, as you know, Boris is away for the summer. So Boris is actually coming to us live today from Brazil. He is in Brazil as a member of Cristiano Ronaldo's posse as a hair consultant. So, Boris, how's CR7's hair?
It is doing quite well, as you saw.
Boris is cutting out.
Oh, no.
Oh. Like the robot cutting out? Where it's
No, you just lost him. Boris, you still there?
Until you see the next cut that we have for him coming up into the next in his flight back, sadly, but he will have a better haircut. Back to you guys.
Okay, well, they're out of the Cup, which we were just about to talk about, so we won't see any new Ronaldo hairstyles at the Cup. But Boris is calling in mostly to give us kind of a opinion about Vancouver versus Montreal. Now, again, this game was last night. No one watched it because we were playing soccer, but Boris listened to it, so he's going to tell us about it. Boris, how was that game?
Well, it was very uneventful, especially seeing as you think Vancouver would have scored with their whole front three being their best front three out there. Anything of note about that game is that there were 5 yellow cards throughout the game. So disciplinary-wise, it was a bit of a tough one. Honestly, though, it's not going to be any good watching MLS while the quarterfinals are on. Sadly for the ratings, even with this weekend's lineup, I think the only game worth watching is probably going to be San Jose versus Los Angeles. Back to you guys, though.
Thank you so much for that, Boris. I completely agree. You know, with the World Cup going on, MLS is not going to get great ratings, and with the U.S. being out of group stage, those boys aren't coming home. So thank you so much for that, Boris. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Love you. Bye. Yeah, we're a family.
So you just muted us, didn't you?
No, you did Boris. I know what my console is.
You know what we're doing.
Come on, Nephi. Look, just look at the dots down here.
You can
That's
see
how
us
you can
talking.
tell. Welcome back to Passively Offside.
Sound 101.
Today we're going to learn about sound. No, let's go back to the World Cup. I'm glad we could switch over to Boris real quick. But let's talk about today a little bit. Again, the games today, U.S. versus Germany and Portugal versus Ghana. Now, due to the point system, if Germany and the U.S. had tied, or if the U.S. had won, they would have been through. The U.S. That is, because that's who we're talking about. Now, Germany won 1-0. That hurts us a little bit, but due to the goal differential, we went through because what was the score of the Portugal game?
Against us or against Germany?
No, against Ghana.
Oh, against
The
Ghana?
one today. We're talking about today.
Oh, shoot. It was 2-1. Portugal won.
So Portugal winning put them at 4 points. We were also at 4 points because we lost today. But what was Portugal's goal differential? Like still -3 or -4?
-2.
Oh.
-2.
It was -2.
Yeah, they needed to win by 5 to knock us out. Now, had Ghana scored another goal, they tied up early. Had Ghana scored a second goal,
Tied it up.
or I mean, no, because they tied up 1-1. Had they scored a second goal and won,
Yes.
we would have been knocked out.
Then we would have been knocked out.
Because their goal differential actually would have been above us.
And that is what I was so scared about. And it was nerve-wracking because I'm next to people who I hold dear to my heart because they are part of my supporter group, but are sometimes not as knowledgeable.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
Ignorant's a good word.
But we do know people who don't fully
we
understand the
know
system.
people. Yeah.
Well, and because they're like, oh no, let's have them time. Like, no, let's just keep Portugal winning. But tie up means we automatically go through. I'm like, yeah, but if Ghana scores one more after that, we're done.
Yeah.
A draw from Portugal and Ghana would have been fine for us, and we actually would have won by a better margin. But
on points.
on points.
Yes.
But had had they stayed tied for the whole game and Ghana gets a 96th minute goal, we're out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the fact that Portugal won is actually good for us. Now, we're going to talk about a odd topic here in a little bit, but let's actually break down these games just a little bit.
Okay.
I've got a couple notes about the first half of both games. For U.S. and Germany, the U.S. started out looking a bit poor. We couldn't really control the ball, and Germany had some great chances.
Oh, yeah.
At first, it really looked like they were going to play patty cake for 90 minutes.
I hope so.
It looked like it at first. For the first minute or two.
First maybe minute or two, but up to the 12th minute, I was like, okay.
I'm talking very early.
Okay,
I'm talking very early.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Okay. The first 5 to 10 minutes, it looked like they were going to patty cake around. But there was one chance that Germany's first chance on goal really put it into my head, and I think a lot of U.S. fans' head, that they're here to play.
Oh,
Yeah,
just by the lineup.
Yeah.
Just by the lineup itself.
But we still weren't sure.
Well, you know what? I was. Because, and the biggest reason is the lineup he made, the lineup he put in was a very attacking one, and it was putting people in who had stuff to prove.
Their subs.
Yeah, and their
Even
subs.
their subs. I mean, Miroslav Klose coming in like
Schweinsteiger is
he
sub.
got the start.
Schweinsteiger got out.
Schweinsteiger got the start, but
he was on the bench. What I'm saying though, for the first 2 games,
Yep.
Yeah.
their beginning lineup had subs, which are still big threats.
Yeah.
But had to prove something.
Well, they're known as the machine for a reason.
Oh yeah.
So the rest of the first half, Germany pretty much owned it still, but the U.S. came back and were playing okay.
We started getting better.
And we were able to
controlled
hold the machine 0-0.
Yep.
Not much else to say about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not a lot happened besides that. It was a very, very German attacking, and they had some beautiful chances.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank God for Timmy Howard.
Thank God for Timmy Howard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, over to Portugal and Ghana. Portugal owning the first half. CR7 with some beautiful chances on goal. There was that one that he shot from keeper
distance.
left, and it came across and hit the crossbar. And just
so good.
Inches.
The 5th minute, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hoping to sting him early and punch him in the face.
They were coming to play because they haven't done much. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'm playing with headphones. They haven't done much in this cup. They needed that because they had 1 point.
Yeah.
And that's
the 4th ranked.
Yeah. I bet their ranking drops now.
I
So
bet our ranking goes up.
CR7 with a beautiful kick there. Ghanaian defender tries to clear a ball in his 6th box. Hits it with his thigh, and it goes in.
Yep.
Was he really trying to clear it, or was he like, this is a good time to try out some gymnastic moves?
I think he was trying for a bicycle kick to just kick it over the bar.
Well, actually, have you ever seen the Brazilian martial arts capoeira?
Capoeira.
Where they like do those like spinning kicks?
yeah.
I think he was watching those guys on the beach, and he's like,
We did
I'm
capoeira.
gonna do that in this game. And I think that's what he tried doing. Is like a capoeira like kick and then.
But it hit him on the thigh and just kind of bounced up.
Far post.
Right to far post, and the keeper couldn't do anything.
No.
Goal line technology said it's a goal.
I don't think we needed it. Show me that goal line technology.
Yeah.
Show me that goal line technology. Hit the back of the net. I need to know.
Was it actually a goal if it hits the back of the net? I'm not sure.
Not until goal line tells me.
The goal line technology.
All right. Let's move on to the second half. Let's start with Portugal and Ghana because I wasn't actually watching this game too much. But what I did see, Ghana, evens up in the 57th minute.
Yep.
And everyone kind of starts to worry a little bit. And like we said, it's because they could have gotten one more. A tie is beautiful for the U.S.
Points wise.
Well, we go through with if they draw.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
points wise.
Yeah.
For my heart and my sanity, no.
Well, see, that's the problem.
A little bit.
If it ended in a draw, awesome, fantastic, no worries. But 0 point goal differential means that someone could win very easily. So the draw is actually a little more concerning unless it's the very, very end of the game, which in this case wouldn't have mattered because Portugal was up. Portugal continued to push, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
And did you guys see Ronaldo's goal?
My gosh, yes.
It was the ugliest defensive.
It was the worst keeper blunder, I think, so far because of the circumstance of the game.
Yes, I will give you that. Because the Russian one was worse.
I was about to say
what
the
was
Russian
riding
one.
on the line,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
to just go.
Well, it's the weirdest thing too. If you watch the replay, you've got the keeper,
Yeah,
and then you've got 2 Ghanaian defenders,
and
then 1 Portugal attacker.
Yes.
And the Ghanaian defenders are right here, and goals back here. They're all looking up, and they just all jump up in the air, and the keeper just goes, "Nyeh." And there is no one covering Ronaldo.
Just by himself at the spot. He took
He took a PK.
He controlled it and was just like, "Oh, you guys are on the left post. I'm gonna put it on the right post."
The best part about that video, if you go back and watch it, the 2 Ghanaian defenders and the goalkeeper all went down in unison.
Oh.
They synchronized. It's beautiful.
Just turf monster took them all out at the same time.
Well, no, they're all running back, and then they all just go like this, and they all fall onto their left side. It's gorgeous. This is the best synchronized swimming I've ever seen.
Just
so good.
Dive at the same time.
Yeah, that was good.
Good.
It was very good. So there you go. Portugal wins.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Good thing.
Because second half of the U.S.-Germany game. So Germany continues to kind of own the ball for this. We had some kind of.
We started out better.
We started out much better.
A lot better.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the sub that was made at halftime. Because what that did is if you watch the first 12, more than 12, probably the first 20 minutes, Beasley on the left-hand side is just getting dominated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad Davis has a hard time being a full side player, as in playing both offense and fully committed to defense.
Yeah.
And that really weakened our left side, and that's where Germany was getting so many chances.
And they were getting frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
The U.S. guys were getting very frustrated and getting unnecessary fouls.
And if you watch the first half, when we start controlling it is when Davis and Zusi switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then that gives our left side better defensive structure. That's the side Germany is coming down.
Yep.
We close that off. Our midfield then can start controlling it better, has better outlets. We start playing better.
And the defense started to look fairly strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They started to synchronize.
They started to synchronize. They started
unit.
very strong, and we were able to hold Germany to a 1 goal.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful goal. The Germany goal was absolutely stunning. They scored in the second half, spun to break down that goal.
If I remember right, was that off a set piece?
No.
It was off. It was
Safe.
coming down.
Deflection.
No, I remember. But the first try, was that off a set piece or not? Okay.
No.
Then he was coming down that goalie left,
Mhm.
the near side, and he plays it in. Timmy Howard pops it out on the far post, and it just bounces right to Mueller's feet. And he does
That's what Mueller does.
very pretty goal.
He does what the machine does.
As a goal, beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, Timmy was fingertips away.
Which is pretty remarkable because he
Seeing as the
saves.
position he was in.
Well,
Yeah.
his first save is
all
on
the way
the other
across the face of
side,
goal.
so does a small diving save, hits it out, and then was
Recovers.
a little slow on recovering, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But gets back to his feet, dives all the way to the other side, and barely misses.
Barely misses it. Yep.
And I'd rather lose on a goal like that,
Oh yeah.
just a chance
Then like a
goal,
PK.
than like a PK or
Or
like,
even that fluke in,
oh my god.
like a defensive fluke where
Yeah,
we
where-
do something like a clearance where it goes to their
Goes
player,
right
and it's
to
like,
the-
oh well.
No,
Yeah.
I'd rather lose on that kind of a goal and play how we played.
Yeah.
Than play to a draw or even win on
And we only
Crappy
lost to
run of
Germany by 1 goal.
Yeah, and we actually played really well.
We played decent football.
Yeah, especially they are the number 2 ranked team right now.
well,
Because Spain's number 1, but they got
yeah,
so,
there's Spain. So
They're the best team in the world.
Spain.
Yeah. No,
No,
Germany.
Germany. Because
Yeah.
Spain's like the
Okay.
worst team in the world.
Yeah, right now.
Ivory Coast could beat Spain.
Samoa can beat
American Samoa, the worst team in the world. One interesting thing about the end of this game was that Dempsey chance. Do you remember that?
What?
Was that Dempsey?
Oh, the chance.
The chance, not the
Oh,
goal.
we
I'm
couldn't
not
hear.
Are you guys
no,
both
no,
out?
no, no.
Am I? Can I not talk?
He said chance. My original thought was chance. CHANTS.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's where the confusion was
I couldn't
coming
hear.
in.
We could hear. We're at the pub.
No.
Chance.
Chance with a CE. No, there was an opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the very end of the game.
Yeah.
What happened?
Are you talking about the header one?
Yeah.
Who? I'm trying to remember who crossed that in.
I can't remember who crossed that in.
Neither can I. I want to say if it's the one I'm remembering.
Very end of the game.
Yeah,
Stoppage time.
it was
No, then I can't
second
remember.
half stoppage time.
Because I was watching the.
We were more
game.
worried about the Portugal game.
Ball comes in. I was worried about the Portugal game too, but I had to finish out.
Well,
I had to finish
just
out.
so everyone knows, we had the Portugal game underneath us, the USA game right above us on two different TVs. So at that point, we were just like watching straight down.
And I was stuck at work.
At a time.
Fortunately, I worked from home and got to watch the games.
Lucky duck.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, break us.
Anyway, that almost goal.
Oh.
Ball comes in. Dempsey gets a header on it, and it just barely doesn't go. Just barely doesn't go.
Who crossed that in though?
I
I
don't
can't
remember.
remember.
Oh, you're kind of.
I was working.
Remember, huh?
I'm sorry.
No,
Heat
it's
of
all
the
good.
moment, we forgot.
Yeah.
No.
The heat of the moment. Anyway, even with a loss, the U.S. will continue on to the round of 16. And we are going to go into the round of 16 in just a moment here because we're actually getting towards the bottom of our list. So I actually want to talk about one more thing about this game.
Okay.
Let me take you guys back. Let's go back in time before the World Cup started,
Okay.
before everyone had qualified, during qualification.
Yes.
There was a game. There was one game that meant Mexico going into the Cup or Mexico not going into the Cup.
Yes.
And Mexico did not play.
Yes.
Who played that game?
It was us and. I want to say it was Honduras, but it wasn't Honduras, was it?
I don't remember who we were playing.
It was us and it was another Central American team.
Was that
Panama.
Panama.
It was Panama.
No, not the
No,
Snowballs.
no.
That was
us
Costa
or
Rica.
Panama.
Costa Rica, yeah.
It was us and Panama, and
So who scored the goal that basically brought Mexico to the Cup?
Zusi.
Mm-hmm.
So for the longest time, in fact, probably still now, seeing as Mexico is also in the round of 16,
Yeah.
Graham Zusi is a Mexican hero,
Oh, yes.
praised by Mexican fans.
Yes.
So, that said, CR7.
Oh.
Is CR7 an American hero? And if he is, can we still continue to hate him anyway?
Well, I think the Mexican fans still hate Zusi. They still, I mean, it's a yes. If we're comparing, then yes, he's the same thing for us.
No comparison. I just wanted to kind of bring that in.
You
No,
don't
I
want to
mean-
frame it like that, but
I mean-
I think it's one of those enemy of my enemy is my friend thing.
Yeah.
Where you have a competitor and they're playing Ghana, they were closer on goal differential than Portugal was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They only needed 2 points to overtake us to move on to the round of 16.
Yes.
Had they won by 1 point, their goal differential would have tied us, and then because they
Us
had more
losing
goals.
by 1.
No.
We
would
would
have.
have.
We would
They were at a
won.
-1. We were at a +1. We would
Okay.
have ended up at 0, but they would have had more goals for.
No. Because the next tiebreaker is actual result against each other. Yes, it is.
We'll check back and we'll get back to you next week.
Yes, it is.
Did you watch ESPN earlier?
Oh my gosh.
I'm going.
Okay,
off what
we're not
ESPN
gonna-
said.
Okay, we'll check
Let's
back
keep
and we'll get back to you next
Oh,
week.
that was mean.
Oh,
Okay.
buddy.
Anyway, is CR7 a national hero?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No, I
think
don't
so.
like that. I didn't.
I don't
I
think
wanted
so.
you to say no.
Yes.
I don't think he is.
While you're talking, I'm
Okay.
gonna pull something up
You
here.
look it up. Nephi, I don't think he is.
Okay. Why?
Because
If it wasn't for his goal, we wouldn't be going to the round of 16.
it could have been
Well,
anybody.
Zusi's goal could have been
Zeus's
anybody.
goal could have been
But
anybody,
that's-
but also it could have been a draw.
Could have been draw. It wasn't. The result is the result.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think you can really call him a national hero just because he scored a couple
Whoa.
goals as he
Okay, but
was
we're
supposed
putting,
to. He's one of the best players in the
understandably,
world.
yes, but we're putting national heroes the same national hero as Zusi is. It's not necessarily a national hero, but we have to give him credit for us moving forward. I mean,
I'm going to stick with the win as a team, lose as a team.
Because if we're doing that,
go ahead, Nephi. You talk.
If we're doing like we're saying that it's the same thing as Zusi status, yes. Okay. Because if it wasn't for that goal, we wouldn't have gone through. It could have been anyone else that scored for the Americans, because it should have been Dempsey.
Okay.
But it was Zusi.
So let's go to this picture.
Yeah.
Look at this picture.
I love it. Boris was...
I think that's actually Boris's handiwork right there.
I don't think it is.
You don't?
He doesn't have that study of a hand.
He doesn't have... And Dunn said...
No, see, look. See that study? That's Boris's signature right there. That little...
the little tiny one, yeah. That's because it's a waving flag. Notice that one right below the star?
Boris did not make this picture.
No.
I don't know who did because I just closed the page, but I saw this first when Dunny posted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's our new national hero. I would prefer Teddy Golzevelt.
Yes.
To be a national hero rather than CR7.
Well, let's be honest. This national hero, just like Zusi, will be done as soon as the World Cup is done.
I think he's already done.
I don't think a lot of Americans are going to give him a whole ton of credit. They're just going to say, we moved on, all right. I don't think a lot of Americans are looking at the intricacies of goal differential and the table and everything like that.
That's a good point.
That's really what it comes down to.
Of the 16 million plus people that watched the Portugal game, I'm sure half of them have heard of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are like,
actually,
America!
I'd say more people know about him, but they probably think he's a model or something. They actually don't know.
Well, he's another David
Beckham. Yeah. I'm pretty sure David Beckham's an underwear model who just happens to play soccer, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be what it is.
All right, guys, let's go to a breakdown of the round of 16. We have a bracket up here. I don't have a picture to post up, but we're gonna break this down. Actually, we can grab our thing there that you made.
Our glass bracket.
You may not be able to see this too well because
it's a bracket.
You can't see the names, but here's the bracket. Will you take that for me?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Should I Vanna White this and just point at things?
Okay.
I can hold this up.
So did you get the sides right? You did.
I think you did, yeah.
You did a great job.
On the left side of the table, which may be on your right because we might be backwards, I don't remember. We have.
But I'm pointing at it.
We have Brazil versus Chile. Followed by
predictions.
What?
We're going.
Do you want to do predictions?
Do we want to?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay,
Who's winning that game?
Yeah.
Brazil.
Brazil wins that game.
It's going to be a close game, though.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great game.
If you don't know, these countries play each other. They're in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
So they've played each other numerous times and are always tight games. Still, I'm going to give it to Brazil.
Okay. I would agree because home country and stuff. Okay.
Brazil.
Next
Brazil has a guy named Hulk. They have to win.
Okay. Next one on our table here is Colombia versus Uruguay. Uruguay, who
is missing Suarez.
Doesn't have their vampire.
Is he sparkly?
No, he's a donkey. Splenda, who wins that game?
Colombia and Uruguay?
Yeah.
I think Colombia's a real scrappy team.
Okay.
Uruguay has played without Luis Suarez before.
And they lost.
Vampire, and they lost.
To Costa Rica.
But we know Costa Rica's been upending everybody, so that's not really good.
Not fair.
That's not a good one-to-one.
Okay, wrap it up. Who wins?
Uruguay.
Okay, Uruguay wins. This table's a little racist. We've got France and Nigeria.
Yeah.
You can't just put that on
it. No one's gonna.
It does not say the N-word, by the way. It does not.
Actually, read that yet.
It's just an abbreviation. It's NIG.
It's what they use on ESPN. So it's not racist.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's not what I'm saying. It's just when I'm reading off of it, if I almost say it, it would sound super racist.
I guess that's true.
Nephi, who wins that game?
Well, France.
Okay. Next on our table is Germany and Algeria. I'm giving that to Germany.
Because big surprise there.
Because it's Germany.
Yeah.
The man-sheen of Germany.
Let's go over to the other side of the table. Up at the top, we've got the Netherlands and Mexico. Splenda.
You know, Netherlands has been looking real good. Mexico, I don't think anybody can really stop the Netherlands this year. I mean, they took second in the last World Cup, and this World Cup they've just
been who's your final
rolling. You know, I put Argentina and God, I made the bracket so long ago I can't remember.
Well, Argentina and Netherlands can't be together.
I never said I put Netherlands.
No,
in the
I'm just
final,
saying
I put Argentina to win it. I think I had Brazil and Argentina in the final with Argentina taking it all.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Moving down, we've got Costa Rica and Greece.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, thank you.
Sorry.
Followed by Argentina and Switzerland, and this one's actually going to be a little interesting.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be a good game. Who wins it?
I got to go with Argentina. Leo Messi's too tough to stop.
Okay.
He's too much.
And rounding up the bottom of the left side of the table is Belgium versus USA.
USA.
USA. Us.
Us, eh?
Us,
With periods. Yeah, us,
Us,
eh?
eh?
We're Canadian. No, we're not, because Canada didn't make it to the Cup.
No.
Canada.
America.
Looking at you, Canada. It's a hard one to call. That might be one of the hardest games to call on this bracket because the U.S. has been playing very well. Jurgen Klinsmann has really changed
Belgium
things
has been
up.
playing poorly.
Ooh.
But they still won a man down today.
Yeah, they did.
Against South Korea.
Well, South Korea is not the worst team in the
North
world.
Korea's best Korea.
South Korea lacks glorious leader, and that's why they can't win.
Yeah.
They don't have a guy who can
But
shoot
see,
a 17 on a
that-
whole golf course.
They did win with a man down, but if you looked at their play, they are, and this is why I think it's such a hard. They have tremendous talent.
Mhm.
They're probably one of the most talented teams in the United States. Wow, in the world.
Everyone's in the United States. The world is the United States.
America. You know, the United States of world.
Well, going on to that, Belgium was able to score with a man down.
Yep.
They won 1-0 over Korea. They win the group, and they're going to play U.S. because you do winner versus second.
1 versus 2.
1v2.
And they are the youngest team in the World Cup.
They are.
Belgium?
Yes.
They are.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is why it's hard to predict what they're going to do.
Yeah. It's a hard game to predict. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, I will. USA.
All right.
I'm sorry, are you unpatriotic? Do you know what's coming up next Friday?
By the way, game's on Tuesday.
Tuesday,
2 p.m. Mountain Time,
that's 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific,
5 p.m. Brazil time.
3 p.m. Central.
3 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Brazil time.
And why? I don't know.
9 p.m. GMT.
Nice job.
Greenwich Mean Time, bro.
Did you say Greenwich Mean Time?
Greenwich.
I thought you said Greenwich, and I was going to correct you.
No, it's Greenwich.
Yeah, I know it
I
is.
could go to UTC, but I don't know that conversion.
Yeah, okay.
It happens.
Swindle smart.
I
This is-
graduated college.
Let's talk about one thing real quick. I don't want to get too deep in this because we're at the end of the show. Belgium and the U.S. have played a couple times over the years. The U.S. has won once, and that was in 1930.
Yes. First World Cup.
1930, the very first World Cup, we beat them.
Wasn't that our best result too?
Yes.
We got to the round.
Fourth place.
Yeah, we got to the top 4.
Top 4. Fourth
America.
place, America. We lost in the semifinals, and then we lost in the cleanup game.
Oh, the Who Sucks last game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. It's going to be a fun game. Again, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, because everyone does Eastern time. We live in Mountain time, and that's 2 p.m. Anyway, let's wrap this up here. Thank you so much for joining in. If you did, I hope you did. I haven't been looking. I don't know if anyone's hanging out with us, but I hope you are, because this is Google Hangouts. Thank you to Google and YouTube and all that stuff.
What?
I think you got it, so go ahead.
What? Oh, I want to hear. I don't know. I'm excited for you. What do you
No, he just reacted to your
Yes.
excitement.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
I was hoping that we were still going to do our little shout-out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
This is big news.
Ladies and gentlemen, living in Salt Lake, our team is Real Salt Lake. I've got this. Thank you, Swin. And free advertisement to Zango this year because
Nope.
The New
not
Jerseys
today.
suck.
Not today.
anyway,
Real Salt.
we live in Salt Lake, and Real Salt Lake is our team. Now, you may have seen us wear some scarves recently that were for Nat Borchers, Fear the Beard.
I'll wear it next week.
Right there.
It's
Yeah, which one is it?
this one.
This one right here. So you see beard?
Yep.
Nat Borchers and family have welcomed it a new life, a new member of the Real Salt Lake family.
Yes.
His name is Lincoln.
Lincoln Borchers.
I don't know how heavy or long he was, but
What time he was born or anything.
whatever.
Or how big his beard is already. We don't
Yeah.
know these
There's
things.
adorable pictures on Facebook and stuff if you happen to live in Salt Lake.
Or just be a fan of Nat Borchers in general.
Everyone should be a fan of Nat Borchers.
I know, right? I'm jealous of his beard. Can't
Anyway,
get his beard.
Nat, we know you won't see this directly, but if someone happens to tell you congratulations on the new life, it's kind of the perfect time because, you know, you don't have to play for a couple more days. So
spend some time with your family.
Spend some time with your family before you leave to LA.
Yep.
And we wish you the best, Borchers family. I want my name to be Borchers. Like, that's a
wish
good
that would be
name. That's a good
That's
name.
a great last name.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry
That's
to
cute.
cut you off there.
That's cute, guys.
It's time to end.
Let's end this.
Join us on Facebook at facebook.com/passively-offside. Let me go back to it. There we go. Join us on Twitter at passively_off, and read our blog on passively-offside.blogspot.com. That's us. You can hang out with us there. Tweet to us, write to us on Facebook. I'm doing a Men Blazers thing. You can write to us on our Gmail. It's passively-offside@gmail.com if you'd like to write in. We'll read comments and stuff.
Love to.
We'll do it. I'm deciding that right now.
Yeah.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Yes.
Anyway, for the Passively Offside team and Boris, who is away, I'm Luis Suarez. Have a good night.